The year is 2018. The fluorescent lights of a high-end corporate boardroom hum with a sterile corporate energy. Pan Sheng, a brilliant programmer and a top-tier cybersecurity expert, sits in anticipation. He was the undisputed valedictorian of his university, a prodigy who poured his soul into this company. He's waiting for the promotion he rightfully earned, the title of director. But the corporate world is a cold, unforgiving place. The CEO steps up and announces that a brand new, outside hire will be taking the director position. The disrespect is deafening. Sheng's heart drops into his stomach. The betrayal stings so deeply that without a second thought, he stands up, clears his desk, and walks right out the front doors. He resigns on the spot. But a man with Sheng's elite coding skills does not stay unemployed for long. Shortly after, a lucrative offer lands in his lap from a mysterious overseas online gaming company. The money is astronomical. The promise of respect is intoxicating. Fast forward to the airplane cabin. Sheng is surrounded by other hopeful recruits, all young, ambitious, and blinded by dollar signs. A senior employee named An briefs them on their new glamorous lives. But Sheng is naturally suspicious, using his elite hacking skills right there in his seat. He quietly breaches the phones of the other recruits, uncovering their personal identities just for fun. The journey to their new headquarters in Cambodia is grueling. During a brutal 10-hour layover, An encourages the group to blow off some steam and enjoy the local nightlife. They wander the neon-lit streets, distracted by the exotic sights and gorgeous women. But in a dark, forgotten alleyway, the illusion shatters. A gang of ruthless, armed thugs emerges from the shadows. Before Sheng or anyone else can even scream for help, they are brutally beaten. Sheng is thrown onto the concrete, bruised, bleeding, and terrified. The group looks up to see a man named Lu. He carries an aura of absolute authority. He is the boss. With a chilling, sickening smile, Lu apologizes for the rough treatment. He casually mentions that An, their friendly senior guide, is actually working directly for him. The kidnapping was part of the plan all along. Waste no time. Lu takes his new prisoners on a grand tour of his empire, and what Sheng sees chills him to his very core. They are standing inside a massive, warehouse-sized operation. Hundreds of hollow-eyed workers are crammed into cubicles. This is the heart of a global online gambling syndicate, a massive fraud factory running rigged slots, fake crypto sites, and phishing scams. Lu points out the lower-tier workers, the ones who cold call and text victims with promises of massive returns. They are treated like cattle, earning a mere 8,000 yen. But then, Lu opens a secure door to the inner sanctum, the internet security room. This room is filled with the elite, the coders, the hackers, the architects of the digital traps. These people are paid a premium of 30,000 yen. And Lu has brought Sheng here to be his crown jewel. The rules are absolute. No personal cell phones, no outside contact, total isolation. Lu then shows them the live dealer rooms, rows of gorgeous high-end hostesses dressed to the nines, smiling into webcams, guiding unsuspecting victims through poker, roulette, and baccarat. It looks like a high-roller casino in Vegas, but it is nothing more than a carefully constructed movie set in a jungle compound. Sheng, possessing a strong moral compass, refuses to become a scammer. He makes a desperate, panicked dash for the exit, but he does not make it far, and tackles him to the floor, beating him into submission as a terrifying warning to the others. As the sun sets, Sheng and the others are shoved onto a dilapidated bus and taken to their living quarters. There are no luxury apartments. Instead, they are thrown into a filthy, overcrowded warehouse that smells of sweat and despair. This is their new home. Later that night, An approaches a battered Sheng. He forces Sheng to call his family, putting a gun to his back, ensuring Sheng tells his loved ones he is perfectly safe and happy, just to drive the point home, and drags another worker who previously tried to escape out into the courtyard, delivering a savage, bloody beating right in front of everyone. 12 hours later, the nightmare begins. Sheng is dragged to his workstation. Standing over him is Lu's right-hand man, a ruthless enforcer we will call the Butcher. The Butcher orders Sheng to start unraveling back-end web data. But Sheng, still clinging to his defiance, ignores the command. The Butcher does not ask twice. He grabs Sheng by the ear and yanks. He pulls so hard that the flesh begins to tear. The agonizing sound of ripping cartilage echoes in the room. Sheng screams in pure agony as his ear is nearly completely severed from his head, just before the ear rips off entirely. Lu strolls in, playing the classic good cop. He gently tells the Butcher to show some manners. The psychological manipulation works, terrified, bleeding, and broken. Sheng finally submits. His fingers hit the keyboard. With Sheng's genius-level coding, the syndicate's fake gambling ads bypass global security filters, flooding websites all over the world. The money starts pouring in faster than they can count. But Sheng refuses to let his soul rot in this hellhole. He formulates a desperate plan. He scribbles a cry for help, an SOS note, on a tiny scrap of paper. Pretending to be sick, he rushes to the bathroom. He climbs onto the toilet seat, desperately trying to force the tiny piece of paper through a gap in the heavily barred, frosted window. But the window is sealed shut. And to make matters worse, the sheer weight of his body causes the cheap ceramic toilet to crack and collapse under him, sending him crashing to the floor. To understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, we have to rewind the clock a few months and meet Anna. Anna is a stunningly beautiful high-fashion model, but her career was recently destroyed when her photograph was stolen and used without permission on an underground gambling advertisement. Blacklisted by agencies and desperate for cash, she is approached by a friend with an offer that seems too good to be true. The friend tells Anna she can make life-changing money working as a live dealer at an overseas casino. Anna, needing to cover her rent and her expensive lifestyle, takes the bait. But there is no luxury flight. Instead, Anna and a group of other beautiful young women are smuggled across the border in the dead of night, hidden in the back of cramped, sweltering trucks like illegal cargo. When they finally arrive at Lu's compound, the trap snaps shut. Lu confiscates their passports, their phones, and their identities. He tells the terrified women that if they ever want to see their families again, they must generate 5 million yen in profit from the victims. Anna is quickly trained as a dealer, but she soon discovers a horrifying truth. The games are not live at all. What the victims see is a pre-recorded broadcast. The outcomes are entirely controlled by the coders in the back room. They let the victim win just enough to get them hooked, and then they flip the switch, draining every last penny. One afternoon, Anna experiences severe stomach cramps. Unable to endure the pain, she abandons her broadcast and runs to the same bathroom where Sheng is currently hiding. Moments later, the Butcher comes pounding on the bathroom door, furious that Anna left her post. Knowing the Butcher's brutal reputation, Anna looks at Sheng, grabs him, and hides him in her stall. When Anna opens the door, the Butcher is ready to strike her. But his aggressive demeanor softens. You see, The terrifying butcher secretly harbors a massive crush on Anna. Realizing she is dealing with severe menstrual pain, he awkwardly hands her some sanitary pads and apologizes. Suddenly, the butcher hears the sound of a leaking pipe and turns to investigate. In that split second of sheer terror, Sheng, realizing the butcher might find the torn OS note on the floor, grabs the dirty paper and swallows it whole. The butcher turns back, sees nothing out of the ordinary, and leaves. They survive, for now. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, the syndicate's dark web ensnares a new victim. Meet Tian. He is a handsome, bright young man with a loving girlfriend named Song Yu. One night, after dropping her off, Tian's phone buzzes with a promotional text from Lu's syndicate. It promises a massive, guaranteed max win. Curious, Tian downloads the app. On his screen appears Anna, the beautiful dealer. Drawn in by her charm and the flashing lights, Tian places a small bet. And he wins. He plays again. He wins again. The dopamine hits him like a freight train. Over the next few days, Tian becomes obsessed. He analyzes the games, convinced he has cracked the algorithm. He brags to his friends, telling them that if they just double down on specific patterns, they can beat the house. He is so confident that he decides to go all in, hoping to buy his girlfriend an expensive birthday gift. But this time, the algorithm flips. In a matter of minutes, Tian loses absolutely everything. His entire bankroll is wiped out. Seeing Tian's massive loss on his monitor, Sheng, feeling a twisted sense of guilt, decides to secretly intervene. Using voice manipulation software to sound exactly like Anna, Sheng sends Tian a voice note, urging him to play roulette and giving him a specific winning pattern. Tian, desperate to recover his losses, takes a massive, dangerous risk. He borrows a heavy sum from violent loan sharks. With his phone battery dying, he places the bet just seconds before the wheel spins. He wins. The payout is massive. But instead of walking away, Tian is now fatally hooked. The next day at work, Tian gets another message from the fake Anna, urging him to try sports betting. Guess the first goal scorer. Guess the exact minute. Guess the final score. Blinded by greed, Tian deposits his entire life savings. But this time, he loses catastrophically. Desperate to cover the massive hole in his finances, he starts acting like a maniac. He forces his friends and co-workers to sign up using his referral codes. He sells his luxury watches. He begs money from his neighbors. Eventually, the debts catch up. Violent debt collectors kick down the door of his parents' home, trashing the place. They drag Tian to a filthy underground clinic, preparing to drain his blood to sell on the black market to cover his debts. Just before they slice his veins, his weeping parents arrive. They have sold the family's ancestral land just to save his miserable life. You would think almost dying would be a wake-up call. But addiction is a demon that never sleeps. This poor bastard is so far gone that he secretly pawns the Ford Mustang his father gifted him, a car worth 300,000 yuan. His mother, discovering he has maxed out every single credit card to their absolute limits, begs his girlfriend Song Yu to keep an eye on him. But Tian is out of control. He meets up with Song Yu and manipulates her into placing a massive sports bet for him. He forces her to bet 200,000 yuan on South Korea winning 2-0. And just to hedge his bets, he makes her put another 100,000 yuan on Germany winning 2-0. Miraculously, the exact score hits. Tian screams in victory. He is rich again. But his joy turns to ashes a second later. Song Yu, with tears in her eyes, confesses that she canceled the bets at the last second, terrified of losing more money. The light in Tian's eyes completely dies. Driven completely insane by the missed payout, Tian hits rock bottom. He visits his elderly grandmother and steals her precious jade bracelet right out of her bedroom. He is a man possessed. Song Yu, heartbroken and terrified, finally goes to the police. A seasoned detective named Zhao takes the case and promises to look into the shady offshore websites. But it is too late for Tian, starving, sleep-deprived, and trembling with withdrawal. Tian locks his own mother in a bedroom. He screams at her, threatening to kill himself if she does not give him the passcode to his father's safe. Terrified of finding her only son dead, she gives it to him. Tian steals the deed to his parents' house. He mortgages it for cash. He contacts the app one last time. Back in the compound, the butcher instructs Sheng to pivot Tian toward a fake crypto investment platform, ensuring the massive incoming funds cannot be traced by international police. Using Anna's beautiful face as bait, they convince Tian to transfer a staggering 8 million yuan. That is a life-destroying sum of money. The second the transfer clears, Lu strikes. He instantly fragments the 8 million yuan, scattering it across thousands of ghost accounts. Within seconds, his army of money mules spread across the globe withdraw the cash from physical ATMs. The digital trail vanishes into thin air. At that exact moment, Tian's phone is permanently blocked. The app goes dark. As Song Yu and his frantic parents kick down his apartment door, Tian realizes the horrifying reality of what he has done. He has destroyed his family. He has lost everything, unable to live with the guilt. Tian steps out onto the balcony and jumps to his death. While Tian's shattered body lies on the pavement, thousands of miles away in the jungle, Lu and his syndicate are throwing a massive, champagne-soaked party to celebrate their record-breaking haul. It is enough to make your blood boil. Despite Anna hitting her quota, Lu is a monster who never keeps his promises. He refuses to let her go, forcing her back to the camera. Anna's spirit is finally broken. Meanwhile, Sheng is promoted to manage the compound's core security systems. Moving into a slightly better room, Sheng finds a single, crisp US dollar bill. Using a pen, he writes a desperate SOS message and an emergency contact number on the back. A few days later, the syndicate takes the staff on a heavily guarded field trip to a local tourist spot, forcing them to take happy photos to send to their families as proof of life. During lunch, Sheng secretly slides the marked dollar bill to Anna. Understanding the assignment, Anna plans to hand it to a waiter. But as she walks, a random tourist bumps into her. The dollar falls to the floor. Panicking, Sheng quickly snatches it back up before the guards see. A week later, Lu decides to release a few of the low-level promotional workers who are no longer needed. As a worker named Jim packs his bags, Sheng secretly slips the marked dollar bill into his pocket, praying Jim will spend it in the outside world. But fate is cruel. As Jim is waiting to leave, the butcher realizes he is out of cigarettes. Short on cash, he violently shakes down the departing workers. He reaches into Jim's pocket and pulls out the dollar bill. The butcher tries to use it at the compound's cafeteria, but the cashier rejects it because of the ink on the back. The butcher flips the bill over. His blood runs cold. Within minutes, Lu summons the entire compound. The air is thick with pure terror. Lu drags Jim to the center of the room and beats him with a metal pipe until he is unrecognizable, demanding to know who wrote the message. Unable to watch an innocent man die, Anna and Sheng step forward. They confess. The punishment is barbaric. Lu has his men hold Anna down, slowly, agonizingly. The butcher takes a pair of pliers and rips out Anna's perfectly manicured fingernails, one by one. Her screams echo through the compound. Then, it is Sheng's turn. They take a heavy wooden club and smash it into Sheng's leg, shattering the bone into a dozen pieces. And as for Jim, Lu pulls out a pistol and executes him on the spot. A chilling reminder that nobody escapes. Later, as the battered prisoners are transported back to the barracks on the bus, Anna realizes she is going to die here anyway. Summoning every ounce of her remaining strength, she smashes the window and throws herself out of the moving bus. Bleeding and bruised, she drags herself to a local police station. But the nightmare is not over. The local police are completely corrupt. They are on Lu's payroll. They immediately hand her right back to the syndicate. Lu orders the butcher to dispose of her. The butcher drives Anna to a dark, isolated pier. He stuffs her into a heavy canvas sack, fills it with massive rocks, and throws her into the freezing ocean. He films the sack, sinking to show Lu. But the butcher's twisted love for Anna is stronger than his loyalty to the boss. After the camera stops rolling, he dives into the water, cuts the sack open, and pulls her gasping to the surface. He hands her back her confiscated passport, tells her to run, and officially fakes her death. Meanwhile, in China, Detective Zhao has been relentlessly hunting the syndicate that drove Tian to suicide. During his investigation, he spots Anna's face on a digital billboard promoting the scam. He tracks down the local advertising agency, raids the office, and connects the dots. Just as Anna secretly makes it back to her mother's home, Zhao's strike team intercepts her. Finally safe, Anna breaks down and tells the police absolutely everything. Armed with Anna's intel, Zhao and an elite international task force deploy to the overseas compound. But when they arrive, they discover Lu has adapted. He has moved his entire operation into a functioning elementary school, using innocent children as human shields. Zhao needs a distraction. Working with a local food vendor, Zhao smuggles a hidden message inside a sandwich delivery, meant for the coding room. Sheng, hobbling on his shattered leg, opens the sandwich and reads the note. He knows exactly what to do. He drags himself to the fire alarm and pulls it. Sirens wail. The sprinklers activate. Absolute chaos erupts. Thinking it is a real fire, the teachers evacuate the children safely into the courtyard, with the kids out of the way. Zhao and his heavily armed task force, disguised as firefighters, breach the doors. Lu is cornered in his office. He looks at the security monitors and sees Anna walking alongside the police. He turns to the butcher, realizing he was betrayed. Knowing his life is over, the butcher viciously attacks Lu, giving the boss enough time to run to the server room. Lu orders his remaining men to smash every computer and burn every hard drive to destroy the evidence. But there is no escape. The task force swarms the building. In his final moments of freedom, Lu finds Sheng. In a surprising moment of humanity, Lu hands Sheng his ultra-expensive luxury watch and his young daughter, begging Sheng to ensure the girl gets back to his ex-wife so she can have a normal life. The police storm the room. Lu is tackled and cuffed. The butcher, in a desperate, violent attempt to grab Lu's phone and destroy the final piece of evidence, is shot dead by the tactical team. The nightmare is finally over. And that brings us to the end of our dark journey. In the year 2022, international task forces cracked down hard on these syndicates. They tackled over 1 million cases of online gambling and telecommunications fraud. They arrested over 1.5 million suspects and froze a staggering 916 billion yuan in stolen funds. It is a massive victory, but the war is far from over. If there is one thing you take away from this story, let it be this. The house never loses. The games are rigged. The algorithms are weaponized, and the people on the other side of the screen will not stop until they have taken your last breath. Stop chasing the losses. Walk away while you still can. Thank you so much for joining me in the dark today. If this story sent a chill down your spine, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the terrifying side of reality. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.